then ask away. Let's do business.
As the number of casinos increase across the state, so do the odds of being hit with severe weather. It has happened at least 3 times over the past 3 years.
New tonight, 6 investigates as Alex Cameron looks at what Oklahoma tribes are doing to improve our chances of weathering a storm at their casinos.
In Oklahoma, it's not hard these days to find a place to do some legal gaming. But with 1 or more casinos in 48 of the state's 77 counties, it's inevitable that this map and a map like this one would collide.
Whoa! We just had a gust of 70 miles an hour.
And they did at Riverwind Casino in Norman a year and a half ago, as documented by Val and Amy Castor.
I got rocks. Oh my goodness!
Tornado valve.
Look at this.
I think we have a tornado valve.
While that was happening outside, the Beach Boys were playing a benefit concert inside to a sold-out crowd that included then-Governor Mary Fallin.
I looked up towards the balcony, and there's this huge flood of rain coming through the roof.
The tornado did only minor damage and no one was hurt, but patrons had received no warnings from the casino.
The tornado touched down right over the facility before we could issue any warnings.
Dustin Newport oversees protective services for the Chickasaw Nation, which owns Riverwind and 20 other casinos. He says his staff is well trained for severe weather.
That night, we were monitoring the weather, and just like most Oklahomans, we did not receive a warning prior to touchdown here at Riverwind Casino.
The National Weather Service's tornado warning came just as the tornado hit. Newport says if they'd had earlier warning, patrons would have been directed to the casino's refuge areas, the bathrooms.
The refuge areas inside the facility are safe areas that we've designated that do have several interior walls that separate them from the outside.
As the tornado watches go off, we're paying attention.
At the Hard Rock Casino, the Cherokee Nation has a similar protocol. If a tornado gets too close, as one did 3 years ago at the Will Rogers Downs Racino, alerts sound and push teams urge patrons to move to refuge areas, although they say they don't force anyone to move.
But we do shut the machines down, so they're not going to be able to game. We do everything we can to make it the right thing to do for them.
The Cherokee have also decided the right thing is to put FEMA-rated safe rooms in their facilities. They're starting that now. But that's the exception. At the majority of casinos, and we reached out to tribes that account for about 2/3 of all the casinos in the state, refuge areas are the norm. And emergency management officials say that's fine.
There are no laws in Oklahoma that make it a requirement to have a safe room or a storm shelter in any type of business.
Kelly Kane says while most casinos are going to do their best to warn of approaching tornadoes, people ultimately have to take responsibility for their own safety.
They might not be watching it from that facility, and you might have to leave and go home early or something, and you may have to make that decision on your own.
Still, casino operators insist they are watching the weather and that safety of guests is paramount.
Because they need to come to a place that they feel is clean, fun, safe.
We feel that it is our job to keep our patrons safe inside our facilities, and we take that responsibility very seriously.
Alex Cameron, News on 6.
All right, good to know, because if you think about the number of people, they're gambling.